I think for us, the most important two things are to complete the phase 3 studies in relapsing MS end of the year and to prepare the NDA submission mid of next year. And in parallel, and I think this is something we always wanted to do, and now we have the ability to do that, to kick off the phase 3 study in primary progressive MS.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Immunic CEO, Dr. Daniel Vitt. Daniel, very good to speak with you. Immunic recently closed on up to $400 million private placement financing, $200 million received immediately. Can you walk us through the details of the transaction, please?
Yeah, it was a great transaction and a transformative transaction for the company. As you know, we are approaching phase 3 readout and starting the preparations for commercial launch of vidofludimus calcium. So this raise really equips the company with the right financing and the flexibility to really prepare a perfect transition here for the company into a commercial stage company.
Daniel, with the fresh capital from the first tranche, you're well funded beyond your phase 3 ENSURE readout and potential NDA filing in RMS. Can you update us on your cash reach and what the financing covers?
Well, the full financing, which would include the second tranche, would cover more or less everything here. I think for us, the most important two things are to complete the phase 3 studies in relapsing MS end of the year and to prepare the NDA submission mid of next year. And in parallel, and I think this is something we always wanted to do, and now we have the ability to do that, to kick off the phase 3 study in primary progressive MS, really to push forward on that area of high unmet medical need, and also considering the challenges of or failures of other drugs in that space, also opening a wide space for us to fill it with vidofludimus calcium. It's an important step for the company.
Daniel, you mentioned that's important phase 3 ENSURE readouts coming up at the end of the year. Can you remind us of the study details and what we'll see when you report that top-line data?
Yeah, as said before, so we have these two phase 3 studies, twin studies ongoing. Just to remind everybody, there was a interim analysis done in 2024, and where the IDMC gave us green light for continuous planned with the study. So these studies are expected to read out top-line data end of the year.
What would be the next steps then for vidofludimus calcium in this indication in relapsing MS?
Clearly, the NDA submission, so the preparations are ongoing right now as we speak, to submit for approval first in the United States with the FDA. And then, as I said, in parallel, also kicking off the phase 3 in primary progressive MS.
In your recent update, you also commented on organizational and leadership changes. Can you tell us the latest about how Immunic plans to transform into a commercial organization?
Actually, we already kicked it off some time ago, but of course, it's a totally different business, basically, morphing from an R&D organization into a sales organization is a big step in the history of a biotech company. And so we agreed that we will search for a more commercial, sales-oriented CEO coming in, hopefully soon. I'm part of the process of selecting a good candidate here. And so in parallel, I think also I will a little bit go back to my roots, doing a little bit more scientific work within the company.
Final question, Daniel. What else can we expect to hear from Immunic this year?
Actually, so I think this is already a lot. We have important milestones coming up. Phase 3 readout of a 4-year, 2,200 patient MS study. It's a big thing. Kicking off primary progressive MS. I think this is the good news from the financing that we're able to kick that off to go forward here. So this is the focus. We, as a company, really exclusively focus on these things right now, and everything else we will see.
Well, Daniel, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for the update today.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen.
Dr. Daniel Vitt, he's the CEO of Immunic.